Okie doke, I have made my way around picking up the stitches, and I did just double check, there are 44. That is kind of the ideal for this pattern, but like I said, if you have an uneven number, it's because you've either skipped a stitch somewhere or you've picked up an extra stitch, so that would be the time to kind of do the unthinkable and unstitch and try again. But if you have 44 or an even number, you are going to be okay. Alright, so here you have your two needles on the flexible kind of wire or plastic or whatever, and you're going to be knitting in the round. So if you have too much wire or plastic or whatever it is, you can do what's called a magic loop. So you kind of just pull it halfway from where you are with your needles, because you're essentially wanting to have two needles like this, which is showing a bit of leg, which is obviously kind of the stance you have for knitting. So we are going to put a stitch marker on our right hand needle to show that it's the beginning of the round, and the right hand needle is the done burger. So if you put it there, that would, on the left, it would be annoying. You're putting it on the right, and every time you go around and get to this, obviously it'll be on the left once you've gone around once. You switch it back to the right to show that you have done a whole round, and you would maybe mark that down to say you've done a round. So here we are, we've got our two needles, and we're essentially just going to knit like normal. So we'd go, but we're going to do a rib stitch. So knit one, purl one, K1, P1, repeat, because that's the pattern for most collars, because it's a lovely stretchy situation, but it also looks really nice. So knit one and bring it to the front, purl one, and this is when you knit in the round, especially after you've picked up stitches, you kind of do need to do a bit of zhuzhing along the needles, and you have to keep keep track, or keep your knitting on track, so that as you move around, you've just got to shuffle it in the same way that if you have too much here, once you kind of get to there, you pull the magic loop to be somewhere else. So it doesn't mind if it's sitting wherever, just you don't want it to be right up to where you are. So last one was a knit, so bring it forward for a purl, and as I said, just continuing to kind of zhuzhy the yarn around, and it will be tight on this first one, just because you've picked up the stitches rather than knit them, and especially with the rib, once you start going around the second time, it'll be a lot smoother. So the kind of essentials of knitting in the round are having your stitch marker to mark the beginning of the round. You knit or rib or purl like normal, and then just zhuzhying things around as you go are kind of the essentials. I'll go around, and once I get to the stitch marker, I'll come back to you again.